like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Yeah. When I've been up this magic. When up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This one taken from the 7th. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they try the right side here. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Will Fuller is one of the young flyers in the NFL and gets to top speed in just a couple of steps, so everyone has to respect the deep game because he'll blow past people in a hurry. But what that does is leaves open space underneath. He can take the short pass, turn it into a bigger gain because he makes people miss. If he takes care of his hands and doesn't drop a pass or two in a game, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one in the bottom half of the NFL against the run, number 19 overall.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're Not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
I'm coming after you.
From just shy of midfield, Watson, and he finds Tyler Kroft. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 23.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that. Yeah,
it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got it to Hilton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now, if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is. For the moment, the 6th seed is theirs, but it'll take a victory to officially lock that down.
I hear the excitement in your voice about this.
Or nervousness, both ways.
Either way,
both ways.
But you know, I've never met a player who didn't go into a game with a little bit of nervousness and played well and didn't play well. Because look, if you go in without that edge, and to this game has an edge to it, doesn't it? Then you're really not going to perform that well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. $3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now. Throwing on second and long. Watson. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
He'll buy some time right. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 30.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Flushed out right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. This is Johnson, he's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
It's caught by Funchess.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Robert Quinn. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be fielded at the 17. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's been... The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a handoff working right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw is Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's... Contact coming from both sides. No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Brissett sets to throw it. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Here's Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the 50, it's Watson. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run. On 1st and 10, Watson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. Now Brissett. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mack. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Brissett.
Early down stuff to put this.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You got the lead, you got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw in film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. And that's complete to Kroft. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
We got 4. We got 4.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
37 yards on the punt with no return, and the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Complete to Hilton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down. Brissett now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Mack. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 38. Brissett, and that's caught inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing. Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss him.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Brissett to throw on first. Short little throw to Ebron. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. Brissett, and that's knocked away and incomplete. So now it's fourth down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you've also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Here's Brissett. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On first down, Mack. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Watson and the Texans now trailing 17-10, a minute 14 to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Getting in there to break that one up, Rocky Sin. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Colts, the win won't get them to 500, but they will.
Hey, how fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like 4th down, Hail Mary, no punch, like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up.